For more now on the Pope's impact on the Catholic Church, theologian and Fox News contributor Jonathan Morris. Jonathan, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Your thoughts right now, as I mentioned, the whole world praying for the Pope now, hoping for a recovery, but he's really struggling right now.
He is, and this is eerily similar to the last weeks and months of John Paul II. I was there in Rome during the time of his sickness, death, and then the conclave that came after. John Paul II was in and out of the hospital twice for 2-week stints, very significant hospital stays, and the Vatican wanted to get him home. And they did, and he ended up dying inside the Vatican. That's much easier and more dignified, perhaps, for the passing of a pope. And I'm sure they would like to do the same thing with Pope Francis, but they haven't been able to get him out of the critical state. So with John Paul II, they thought he would either go home to recuperate or at least to eventually have that hospice care, which he had.
You know, this Pope, a particularly remarkable leader, you know, he has this warmth about him. He's made special efforts from the very beginning to reach out to the poor. He's also viewed as an environmentalist. But here in just these recent weeks, he hasn't been able to have the contact that he usually has with the faithful. But it seems like the faithful feels very much in tune with him.
I would say yes and no, Molly. I think you brought out those points that are so true, that there's a warmth to him, there's a simplicity to him. He's living not in the papal apartments or palace, but in a very small and simple hostel, or kind of almost like a little hotel inside the Vatican. He has really lived out what he's preached in terms of simplicity, poverty, etc. But he's also made a lot of controversial statements, and I would say quite confusing statements. And it's caused a lot of anguish within the church of, listen, the Pope's main job is to give clarity of what the Catholic Church believes and teaches, so that people can say, yes, I want to be Catholic, or no, I don't want to be. Or what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus? And so, yes, he has great love around the globe. I love him dearly. I would also say we should be clear that he's been a little bit confusing at times.
Jonathan, while I have you as well, here we are on the cusp of Lent, and as we talk about followers of Jesus, there's this new research coming out, Pew Research, releasing a study this week that shows the decline of Christianity in the U.S. has actually slowed down, maybe even leveling off. Do you expect to see a shift towards religion here in the U.S.?
Yes, it's a fascinating and very, very large study. They've only done 3 of this extent, 37,000 people interviewed across the 50 states. And over the last 20 years, there's been a steady decline, actually dropping 20 points from those who would say, I am a Christian. So 20 years ago, about 80% of Americans said that they were Christian. Over the last 4 or 5 years, it's down to about 62, 63. That's a big drop, but the big headline from this is that over the last 4 or 5 years, it hasn't dropped further. And what does that mean? I believe it means that the human spirit eventually wakes up and says, wait, where am I finding meaning and purpose in life? And it can't be just in material things. You know, we always see a big jump in religious affiliation during really hard times, war, for example, sickness. But in these last 4 or 5 years, there hasn't been that. And it's interesting that even without some massive catastrophe, Americans have stopped losing their faith. I think that's at least a positive, optimistic way of looking at it.
Well, we appreciate your positive and happy way of looking at things. And we greatly appreciate your insights. Thank you, Jonathan Morris, for joining us here on this Saturday.